a Muslim with a woo-woo Christian in a biracial marriage. They are gym owners with tips on wellness, mindset, creating inner peace, and happiness despite differences. You're listening to the Clem Alfred Unequally Yoked podcast.
Hey, we're back.
After 3.5 or 4 months.
Well, a lot has been happening. So let's recap before we go into 2020. And by the way, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I went to Europe. I went across the pond. That's what they call the Atlantic Ocean. Across the pond to England for the first time. I went to Morocco. I went to North Africa before you. And then I went to Italy. And it was a great adventure. I had 2 weeks home, and then I went to Cancun for Dr. Joe Dispenza Advanced Meditation and Healing, Coherence Healing. So that was a great trip. And then we're home. We stayed home. Oh no, we went to LA.
Right.
For Thanksgiving, and then I went to Cancun, and then we're home for a while, and then we go to Mexico again for my birthday in a couple weeks. So it's been busy.
Fun.
Yeah, it's been fun and busy. So we're talking 2020, and our plans is to continue this podcast. This is season dose.
Oh, wow.
Dose. Season 2.
Season 2.
I think we started in April last year. So we have like...
Did we really?
Yeah, I believe we have like 10 episodes. So we promise to have more in the second season. We like doing it. We started this because we enjoy the time that we get to spend together.
It's fun.
And talking to one another, picking each other's brains, learning more about one another after 22 and a half years.
And we get to share with all of you.
Yeah, so all the questions you ask can get answered all at once by watching these IGTV, Facebook videos, plus the podcast. But let's talk about setting goals and what our plans are and how you can set goals for 2020 after these
messages. We'll be right back.
So, Alfred, what are your plans for 2020? What are your fitness goals? You can start there.
Fitness goals to compete in June.
Oh, okay.
At Katie's show. It's a local show. And then I would love to there's a show in July in Sacramento. My parents have never seen me compete.
Oh my gosh, that would be great.
From there in Atlanta, the World Championships are in Atlanta. So take a little break after July and then, hit it hard for November. I think it's second week in November. Those are the fitness goals.
I'd like to also get on stage this year. It's going to be a very long time since the last time. So it's going to take some, reacquiring of some lifestyle habits, changing that up. But, now having to know what I learned in the past, because I did compete for a while, and then my new way of life with so much growth and meditation and reading and just personal development, and it feels like a different kind of journey as opposed to before, where it was like grit, grind, hustle, and just get this goal done and really matter, or physical being trying to change matter, this physical being. There'll be a lot more spirituality involved. So I think it's going to be a lot more fulfilling and more satisfying for the soul, for me. But that's my plan, is to get back. And I think today, really, let's talk about, though, is how do you set your goals and what do you do to stay focused and on track? Like, did you, why don't you just talk about how you are setting your goals?
You set your goal, write them down.
Basically.
You gotta write them down and make sure it's clear. Can't be pie in the sky. Like, I want to compete this year. That's really not
Right.
a goal. You have to have
That's
dates.
a dream.
Yeah, so June, the second week in June and the third week in July. I don't know the exact date, but they are already programmed in my phone, so I have the days.
You don't know this exact date at this moment, but they're already set on the WNBF
Right.
website, the World
Well, it's locked in my
Bodybuilding.
phone on the
National.
countdown, so I could
Yeah.
open my phone and look.
Well, Katie says there's already people signed up. So if you
Right.
really are committed, there was people signed up before Christmas. So yeah,
So I write it down. Make sure that it's specific,
and it's doable for you.
right? Definitely attainable, and then you want to tell the world, not just one or two people, but tell everyone. That way, they help hold you accountable.
Accountability.
And as far as staying focused, I just, positive affirmation all day, every day, and eliminate the negativity, because that will bring you down, and it can slow down your results, especially if you're not headstrong.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and you're really like, how do you deal with, because you do balance so much other things like family and, providing for the family, making money. You work at our club, Victory Get Fit Club, which is now a mind and physique transformation boutique co-working space for other trainers to build their businesses. I mean, mentoring and training trainers who want to start their own business, but you also have a real estate business that you also mentor and train other real estate agents. So how do you, is it how difficult or easy it is to balance it all without losing your kids, without losing your family, without totally,
yeah.
Well,
when I set my real estate goals, I had to. And one of the primary goals is to get my business set up to where it can function on its own, and I can do everything that I need to do remotely, because that's something that we're going to need to be able to do once we attain our other goal for this year, which is to buy some property in
on the beach.
Mexico. So it's not very far from here. I can still do my real estate, pop in and out twice a month. But to have that run streamlessly, which is kind of, for me, I was challenged with it at first because I have to employ certain people to handle certain parts of the business, and you have to just trust that they're going to do the work.
Delegate. That's a really good
And
tip.
then as frugal as I am to have to come out of pocket to pay for all that, because I can do the work myself, but it doesn't free me up, which gets into the fitness business. Is I can only spend X amount of time doing real estate, and then I have a certain amount of time I can spend doing my fitness business. And then I have a certain amount of time I want to spend with my family, and I always need at least an hour a day that I spend with myself to help
Working out.
improve myself. Well, the workout, that would take it out to maybe 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I need to feed myself the nourishment in order for me to stay focused. The personal development side.
Yeah, with the reading and praying and
Meditating and
Yeah.
so on and so forth.
Okay, so delegate, that's a huge one. And if you are, sometimes I think when we're a control freak or controlling or like insecure about, can this get done without me? Or we start to, worry or have anxiety about, things don't go right if that was something you used to say a long time ago when we were first married. If you want something done, do it yourself. You would say that all the
If you want
time.
something done right, you're going to probably need to do it yourself.
But I think now that we're older, we are a little bit I would think more spiritual too, is the allowance and the trust and the faith that God provides, and that things will happen as they're supposed to be to our benefit. Regardless how it turns out. If it doesn't turn out exactly how we visioned it, it's still for our purpose and benefit, and it's the way it was supposed to be.
You can learn from every situation.
Yeah, and not just learn, but we don't know, like later on, we were talking about that yesterday. Like we will label something good or bad because it was excruciating or painful or unfavorable in our eyes, but it really was the way it was supposed to be because it caused an epiphany or a transition or, you know, an evolution that was higher than our own imagination. So without it, I guess it's called a necessary evil. A necessary evil.
I call it a necessary lesson. Doesn't necessarily have to be evil.
Well, we think it is when it's so painful and like, oh, that person did that to me and it was so sad and so hard. But anyway, okay, so trust, faith, delegate, and I think you're more relaxed now, or we're both more relaxed now and allowing things to just flow. Especially me, allowing things to just flow. So I've got a couple goals. I'm gonna get on stage, but I am, through my evolution of this journey, am also getting certified to be a sound bath healer. I know. I remember I took Alfred to his first sound bath. Alfred fell asleep. First I was concerned that he wouldn't come. This was a couple years ago while I was like still, you know, trying to find my way around this journey of healing and transformation and evolution. I could feel in my soul that I was, you know, metamorphosing from fitness into something deeper. Still in fitness, but more a fit mind, fit heart, fit body, fit soul, like everything more of a, I don't know, a wholeness or a all-encompassing, because it just feels more, I'll just say great for the mental health aspect when everything is flowing together as it, healthy. So I had found sound baths and I was concerned that Alfred, being Muslim, like, what they gotta say? And he's like, don't bring those crystals, I'll go over there, but don't bring any crystals up in this house.
Nothing wrong with crystals.
Now he says there's nothing
minerals.
wrong.
I never said that.
You did! Oh my gosh, I swear.
Crystals?
Alfred
Only thing I
swears.
did was the little doll thing. That was the only thing.
Alfred swears that he doesn't say things, or he did say things, or he didn't say.
I might have said that jokingly, but I have nothing against rocks and stones and crystals.
This was a couple years ago.
As long as you're not praying to them, and then if you do, that's your business. I'm not praying to it.
Okay, Alfred's so funny. I didn't say that. He did say that.
No crystals in my
Don't bring them crystals up in my house. That's what he said.
colors.
Like it's his house only. But anyways, let's move on from that point. He came and it was outside in Tacoma on the grass. And it was a sunny summer day.
Beautiful.
Blankets, pillows, I mean, like the sounds. So the sound bowls are crystal or metal from Tibet, or crystal, huge, and they all have their own frequencies. And each one has a different sound, different frequency of vibration and energy, you know, in tune to different energy centers or chakras or whatever you want to call it. And Alfred went bonk, asleep. But it's been one of the things I use besides meditation and hiring a meditation teacher to help heal me. And I have been feeling it in my soul. It was not on the goal list. It was not in the plan. And that's what I want to talk about today, is leaving room in your plans, not being so rigid in like it has to go exactly the way I pictured, or it has to be, if it's not on my checklist or if it's not on my goal list, then it's not going to happen. But leaving some room for miracles, some miracles, some magic, some epiphanies, some like synchronicities, or just a drop of goodness from God and the universe that just appears for you for no reason, and you think it's for no reason, but it really is. But leaving room for that, because I think it makes life more adventurous and way more fun.
Yeah, I agree. I like the organic lifestyle.
Organic.
Just let it happen.
As
Have
it
a
should
goal,
be.
have a plan, but don't be married to it.
Oh my gosh. Have a vision.
I have to be there by this time, and we have to do this and that and this. That's fine some days.
You should. You should
when I go
have
on vacation,
a target.
I like to have like a day of just whatever. If it's ESPN, which it's not anymore.
Okay, vacation is totally different from life goals.
It's true.
It's very different from life goals. But we should have
Make
a
vacation goals as
vision,
well.
intention, because if you don't have vision or intention, or if you'd like to call them goals, then life happens to you, and then you're always wondering why, you know, you're unhappy or sad or feeling unfulfilled, because you were not being a co-creator with the creator towards something that you want this life to be. It's your life, and you can manifest anything you want with it. But if you're just sitting back letting, you know, your boss and your job and your life happen to you, then it's just not as fun or fulfilling. So there should be like intention setting, vision setting, whether it's mind movies or vision boards or a list of goals, but just don't be such a control freak about how it is supposed to happen, I think.
If something else pops up and it feels good, you might want to entertain it.
Okay, that goes to, so in the beginning of the year, and we talked about this before, we went to Costa Rica for plant medicine, ayahuasca, and before Alfred arrived, I went a week before and was at an eco lodge in the jungle, and I was like, I'm totally gonna live here. This is it. I could feel it. It's in my bones. I feel so connected to this place, and I just knew. So I went and got Rosetta Stone. I'm learning Spanish. And I was still on, had this vision. It's still happening. And then over Thanksgiving, we had learned that my brother-in-law had bought property in Mexico, and how awesome it is. We've never even been to Rosarito ever. And he was just showing us the videos and the opportunities. And I got a little excited about the possibility, and Alfred got super excited because while I was in Cancun, he's like,
Book it.
I booked us tickets for your birthday, and we're gonna look at property and meet with a real estate agent. And I normally in my old self, I would have been like, no, that's not the way I planned it. That's not the dream. That's not the goal. We're not buying anything. But just because it's not happening the way I thought it was supposed to happen, or when, it doesn't mean that I'm never gonna be in Costa Rica.
True.
Or maybe I'll be in Costa Rica in a different way or a different manner, or support and help the rainforest in a different way, in a different manner. But it doesn't mean it's not, it doesn't mean it's the end. It's just not right now. And I think living in the now is really helpful in manifesting goals into reality.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. But so when you stay focused and on track, how do you know, like say you're off track on your fitness goals, how do you know you're off track? And then what do you do to get back on track?
Cut the food, more cardio. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's not good.
No. To be
I can't
honest,
believe how many people starve themselves just for
don't do
15
that.
minutes. 900 calories or 1,200. Nobody can live off of that. Not healthy. Not for your organs.
With the prep, if we're going to talk fitness, with prep, I usually set myself up to where I'll start a prep during a time that I know I'm going to be committed. So I usually don't start prep until after the Super Bowl. Super Bowl is the last holiday of the year of 2019 because the football season started 2019.
It's different for everybody. Depends how much.
Everyone's different.
Yeah, weight you have to, or fat you have to lose,
So
and
for
muscle you
me,
have to gain.
February 2nd, after that Super Bowl Sunday, which I think will be February 3rd, if I'm not mistaken, that's when I will start like on point, hitting my goals and staying on with my food, all my workouts. Until then, I kind of just eat, don't really measure. I do, but I don't. It's kind of pie in the sky. Probably like half of my clients, that's what I'm doing in my so-called off season. But in setting my goal, I usually prep for the end of the year, which will be November. So I take a slow, steady
Oh, yeah.
grind towards it.
Slow,
And
easy, non-stressful.
I've never really, I don't know that I've really experienced not being on track for the end of the year show. Now I
You
may
have. There was a year. Wasn't there a year where you're like, oh, if I had started 2 weeks earlier, it would have been just right?
I know which one that was. That
Yeah.
was the year when, well, what I was getting at is I'll prep for it, and then the way I show up on that day is just the way I show up. I've done almost 20 shows. I've never dropped out of a show or decided, hey, you know what?
I'm not doing it because I'm not
ready.
Yeah.
You just do the process, and then you learn. So from that year, I learned that maybe I need to start a little sooner, or don't get so cray-cray
Yeah.
with the chicken wings and the bowls of cereal.
And the great thing is, like, you stayed on the healthy path of preparation, where most people would say, oh my gosh, I'm 2 weeks behind and I'm not going to meet that goal. I'm going to do something crazy and do 4 hours of cardio and cut all the carbs and eat no carbs and for 2 weeks straight, and I don't know, go in the sauna every single day and dehydrate myself to full dehydration.
I wouldn't work with a coach who did that.
But you know, like, some people will, even outside of their coach's recommendation, start to freak out and get really, really anxious, go into anxiety or panic about not meeting, and will take control on their own, or feel like they're attempt to take control
on their own.
Which then usually backfires and is not.
And they do more harm than good.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing with, especially with natural bodybuilding, is developing habits. So you do your warm up, your practice shows, you show up and do whatever you do, and then you prep the peak at a certain point in time, and you give yourself plenty of time. Make sure it's realistic.
Yeah.
You know? And if you don't, then you might end up wanting to do some extreme things toward the end. Which was really cool this past year is that the 2 weeks before, my coach actually decreased my cardio by 30% and increased my food, which is totally backwards to me. So you're gonna feed me more and have me do less output, and I still dropped a pound that week. You know, I didn't go doing anything crazy and just maybe I'll keep my cardio here or I'll do this. No, because if I would not have given my body the rest that it needed in order to yield the 1 pound that was lost. So, you know.
Well, if you're like, okay, where do I start? How do I begin? How do I set goals? Our biggest tip for the beginning of the year is to first find out where you're at. Find out where your base point is. So a great idea is to find somewhere that has an in-body machine, like we do at Victory Get Fit Club in Federal Way. And you don't have to be a member. You can set an appointment on our website, victorygetfitclub.com, and you'll have a short coaching session. Or if you want to hire Alfred as a coach for your fat loss or show prep goals, that's included. But find out what your base is, where your starting point, in not just weight on a scale, but like how much lean muscle mass, skeletal muscle mass, how much visceral fat and actual body fat you have in your body. And then make realistic, like, oh, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks because I'm following paleo. And, you know, just how can you live healthy, happy, and how long will that take? Like, we have a client who started, I met her in Costa Rica actually, and she wants to get on stage when she's 50. So she started well over a year.
Year and a half.
A year and a half ahead of time, to give her the time to create new beliefs, create new lifestyles, because it's not gonna be, we think we set a goal and then we set a resolution and then everything's gonna be automatic. I'm gonna be like right on point from January 1st. No, there's so many pieces to it that you're not gonna be on point right in the beginning.
It has taken 5 months just to eliminate certain things, certain eating habits that shouldn't be there if you're going to compete. 5 months just to get to the point where, okay, I can live without this.
Yeah, or just to work out on a regular weekly basis.
Which is the right process, because she wants to make a change after, not just do a show. She's looking to make a lifestyle change.
Keep
using the stage as motivation, because it's a transparent date when you got to jump up there and everybody sees, okay, did you prep or didn't you prep?
It's a very she's being very accountable.
Yeah.
With being transparent, and everybody sees.
But the ultimate goal is good eating habits, training, and being healthy. So she gave herself plenty
of time. I commend her for that. And that way there's no stress. Like if you miss 1 or 2 in the first 5 months of working out 1 or 2 a week, it's like there's no guilt or condemnation. There's like, okay, I learned this, I'm not getting the results I want, then this is what I have to do to shift. This is what, and so doing the in-body regularly also keeps you accountable, because then you can see, well, I when I don't sleep enough, drink enough water, work out enough, or stay in a positive, energy, and everything's stressful, this is what effects I have on my in-body report. This is how it affects my fat, my visceral, my muscle gain, or you can see all of that if you're journaling and keeping track. And I think that's exactly where you should start, is to see where your baseline is and make realistic, non-stressful game plan towards the ultimate goal. Have a set date, a time. That way you're not procrastinating and lollygagging towards it, not a pie in the sky. Oh, I want to lose weight.
Put a countdown in your phone and put it on as one of your screens or widgets. It's a widget on my screensaver, so you can see the days. It was 199. It's probably like 196 now, because that was this past weekend.
Yeah.
So you see the date, and the day they go by fast.
All right, so if you have any questions or any more, but set the vision, make it plain, write it down, create a solid date, create accountability, move things around in your schedule. What is that called? You have to delegate things off to other people, because
to make time.
Room. You have to make room and time.
And you guys stop using your kids as a damn excuse. I'm sorry, we gotta just come on. There's 2020.
Alfred's pet peeve.
Do not use. Oh, I have the kids. I gotta take the kids. You know what? If you're sick and in the hospital, who's gonna take the kids? Oh, you're gonna figure it out. Why don't you figure it out now before? Figure it out now, because it will happen. Look at your friends. You see them. It could be you. I don't know.
Diabetes, cancer.
Don't use your
have to take care of
kids
ourselves.
If you tell your children, I have to work out, and they get all ticked off, or your husband or your spouse, your significant other, and they get all ticked off, you need to check that relationship and sit down, have a heart-to-heart.
Delegate.
Yes.
Find other
you got 30
creative
minutes.
solutions.
You got 30 minutes a day, only 3 days a week, and focus on your food.
Remember, the solution is always there. Don't think that there is no way I can do this. If you really want it, and you meditate, and you really believe that you're supported by God, universe, then the answers will appear for you. It is possible. You do have everything you need. You just have to believe it. If you constantly believe there's dead end, and you tell everybody that your kids or your job or these are the reasons why I can't, then you're always going to create reasons why you can't. It will never happen.
If you constantly say these are the I can't, because there will always be something else.
There will always be something else.
But as soon as you, with conviction, say, I'm going to do this.
Everything is coming for me.
It's going to happen. And
everything's
you sincerely
lining up
mean
for
it,
me.
And you continually work toward it, things will happen.
Thanks for watching. Find us on Clem and Alfred Unequally Yoked. If you think this was very beneficial, please share our episodes. And you can find us on anywhere podcasts are heard. You can also watch our IGTV, Instagram television episodes on IGTV. Follow us on Clem and Alfred Unequally Yoked, and also on Facebook. Thanks, guys. And if you are ever interested in a fat loss or show prep coach, Alfred is here.